Well, well, well. Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. Come on into the dining room and sit at the dinner table so we can get some of that good food for your souls, my brothers and sisters. Go ahead and invite some more family members and friends because this is some good food that is very nutritional for your soul. And also, my brother and sister, keep in mind that we may have some guests, so don't be somewhat courteous and move down a little bit so that some of these brothers and sisters can get some of this good food for the soul. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I speak on relationships. When I talk about relationship, my position is very strong. I lean towards God position on relationship. When you go to the book of Genesis, God established the relationship between himself and a man. He established a relationship between himself and a woman, and he established a relationship between a woman and a man. That's the position that I come from. Now, if you're new to the dinner table, that's my position. If you have another point of view, or when it comes to a relationship, you have what is called a free will that God gave to you. But I'm letting you know now, my position is God position, and it's documented in the book of Genesis. I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. Those of you on the tube, I may make some comments to those that are on the book. You may not see their names and comments, and vice versa. Those of you that are on the book, I may make some comments to those that are on the tube. You may not see their names and comments, but I will call their name and comments, okay? Because we all family here. And my brothers and sisters, I would like for you to feel and think that you can add and contribute to this show at the dinner table because we're family here. And even some of you guests that come in, I want you to feel comfortable being able to ask questions and making your comments along the way. With that said, we're about to get into our content for tonight at the dinner table. When we look at the top of the menu, at the top of the menu for tonight's dinner is, have you used or been a band-aid or a bridge over troubled water? Again, have you used or been a band-aid or bridge over troubled water? How you doing, Sister Flo Harvey Martin? Welcome to the dinner table. And thank you, sister, for coming in, sitting down. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, my brothers and my sisters, and also you guests, you came to get some good food for your soul tonight going into the weekend. How you doing, Sister Pamela Simmons? Welcome from Dallas, Texas. Thank you for coming in, sister, and get your seat so you can chew on some of this good food for the soul, sister. Now, our way of life, my brother and sister, our way of life will have its natural consequences of plus and minuses. What we think and what we do will surely affect our future. Don't ever think what you say, don't ever think what you do will not affect your future. Especially, my brother and sister, we have to be extremely careful how you treat another man or woman, and that's a good man or woman, because based on how you treat that man, sister, based on how you treat that woman, brother, it can and it will affect your future. At the dinner table tonight, that's why we're talking about relationships. Have you used or been a band-aid or bridge over troubled water? That is what we're talking about this evening. Have you? Now, my brothers and sisters, check this out. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. If you throw a boomerang out, it's gonna come back. So whatever you put out there, my brother, whatever you put out there, my sister, you're gonna get something. Whatever you plant in the ground, whatever seed you plant, you're going to receive a harvest. So you need to understand this principle, my brother and sister. Have you reap what you sowed? You eventually have to reach, you will reach a consequence, my brother and sister, based on your words and your action. Or to say it differently, from God's point of view, listen to me carefully, from God's point of view, as it is written in the book of Galatians, that's chapter 6, 7. The book of Galatians 6, 7. The book of Galatians 6, 7. And God's words read, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For what you reap, whatever you sow. Listen to what God's words say in Galatians chapter 6, 7. It said, do not be deceived. That means don't fool yourself. God is not mocked. You can't play with God. For whatever you reap, you going to sow. Now we're talking about relationships, my brother and sister. That's what we're talking about. Now the word band-aid, as what we see on the menu, band-aid is defined when you look in the dictionary as a brand of adhesive bandage with a gauze pad in the center, used to cover minor abrasions or cuts, or to say it differently, a strip of fabric used specially to cover, dress, and bind up wounds. The key word is bind up wounds. Then the phrase a bridge over troubled water, when we look in the dictionary, it is a metaphor. And the bridge over troubled water metaphor means for someone living through trying times in their lives. That's what it means. Someone living through trying times in his or her life. Now let's break this up into two what are discussions. The first, we're going to talk about, have you, brother, or have you, sister, used someone as a band-aid or a bridge over troubled water? Again, let's be honest, my brothers. Let's be honest, my sister. Have you used someone as a band-aid or bridge over troubled water? Brother, have you used a woman in the wrong way when you had came out of a bad relationship? Have you? Have you used a woman as a band-aid or a cushion, and you know you were not fully invested in that woman? Or you just used her until you got to another woman? Sister, the same question. Have you used a man in your life coming out probably a bad relationship, and it was just for a moment? Or did you use that man as a bridge over troubled water until you got with whom you may currently be with? I'm going to start off first, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm going to be honest. The first part of it, have you ever used or someone as a bridge, or as a band-aid or bridge over troubled water? Sister Flo said, no, never use anyone. Amen. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I was very, very young, when I was ignorant doesn't mean I was stupid. Ignorant means that lack of knowledge, okay? When I caught myself wilding out there in the world, I did not care too much about women that I was really associated with, because I called myself wilding out, okay? I did not consider the feelings of a woman or women. I did not consider too much how they thought, or I didn't too much care. That was my attitude a long, long time ago. So what did I do? I was a serial dater before I got, to the right one. I was a serial dater. And by being a serial dater, that means that I did not. Now I'm gonna tell you this. I did not mislead no one. I did not tell no woman it's just you and I. I didn't do that part. Now there are a lot of guys that will say it's just you and I. I did not put no label on the relationship. So if I did not put no label on the relationship in my mind during that particular time, I'm thinking that I'm good because I'm thinking I'm good because at least I did not lie to a woman or women about my objective, okay? But I noticed something. And when I look back right now, my brother and sister, I was definitely wrong. I was definitely wrong for that. I'm going to give you a situation. Talking to a woman or women, like a lot of men talking to women, it's some men that still doing this. It's playing games. It's called playing head games. Especially if I came out of a relationship and it was a hurtful relationship. And this is what triggered it. It was a hurtful relationship to me. And when it was a hurtful relationship to me, my mind said, I'm not going to let this happen to me no more. I'm not going to let no woman do this to me anymore. So I had this wall around my heart. I was not going to be misused anymore. That's what my mind was saying. My mind said, if I got used, that's on me. But I was determined if anybody was going to get used, it was going to be another woman, which I did wrong. And the reason why I did it wrong, I'm taking full responsibility for it, my brother and sister, full responsibility. Coming out of a hurtful relationship, feeling down, and needing comfort. And I have told you, brothers and sisters, this before. I'm going to regurgitate it again. When a man have a bad breakup with a woman that he was mentally, emotionally, willfully, and financially involved with, it's different than a woman being emotionally, mentally, willfully, and financially invested in a man. It's different because you have a male from a male point of view, and then you have it from a female point of view. Like I have told you before, my brother and sister, when a woman gets hurt, most of the time women have support. Women have support a lot of time by girlfriends or family members that will rally around the woman and give her good encouraging words. Unlike a man. When a man hurts, I said men cry in the dark. Some people think men are cold. Some people think if a man have a bad breakup with a woman and he's seen with another woman, that meant that it's a possibility that that woman was already there in that man's life. Not necessarily so. I'm going to tell you why. How you doing, Sister Tara? Welcome to the dinner table. A lot of time, like I said, women have more support than men when they're going through breakup. When a man have a breakup and he tell his boys may listen. His close boys may listen. But they are not going to be that supportive of that man. They're going to quickly try to bring that man to reality, and they're going to say, hey, don't worry about it. Leave her alone. Let her go. Don't cry over. Don't you see all these other women around here and you thinking about that one? Why are you crying over that one? You're no telling what she's doing. So you need to get on with your life. Don't you see all these other women that's there? That's how a lot of men deal with it, sisters. So I'm telling you this now, sister. if you had a breakup with a man and you seen him with another woman, that doesn't mean that he always had a relationship with that woman. It doesn't mean that. It may seem like he's happy. It may seem like he have moved on. And when it comes to seem like he happy, if you see a man, a lot of times, sister, you broke up with a man and you see him with another woman, it may seem like he's happy. But majority of the time, he's hurting on the inside. What is he doing? Most of the time, he has this other woman as a band-aid to go over this bridge over troubled water. What does this mean? It is, like I said, the troubled water part, my brothers and sisters, it is basically, it's a metaphor for someone living through trying times in their life. So basically, how you doing, Sister Tierra? Welcome to the dinner table. So basically, when someone going over the bridge or troubled waters, they are living through trying times and they're using the person as a band-aid, which comes back to me, like I was telling you earlier. I just had to give you a little background so you can understand where I come from. Coming out of a bad relationship, trying to go out and live my life, because like when I came out of this one bad relationship, the relationship was so bad, and some of you have heard it before, Sister Flaw. I know you have heard it several times, so just bear with me. Coming out of a bad relationship, and the woman left. I told her, if you leave, you're not coming back. I wanted her to come back, but then when she left, I changed the locks on the door because she was not going to come back. Okay? So it hurted. It extremely hurt me mentally. It hurt me emotionally. It hurt me physically. It didn't hurt me financially, but it hurt me mentally, emotionally, and financially. How did it hurt me? Mentally, when I got up in the morning, the first thing that came to my mind was that woman. Getting ready to go to work, that woman. In the car driving to work, that woman. At work, that woman. But my mind had to go somewhere else, but it always came back to that woman. Going out with other women, that woman was on my mind. It appeared that I was happy. It appeared that I was adjusted, but I wasn't. I was a wreck. So majority of the women that I went out with during that time, I didn't invest that much into them because I was still hurting. That's why I'm telling you right now, my brother and sister, I need to put a dime in the meter right now. That's a little old saying. But anyway, when you fresh out of a relationship, my brother and sister, listen to me carefully. When you fresh out of a relationship, and I should have been telling my younger self this when I was younger, do not ever get right into a relationship once you fresh out of a bad relationship. Because what will happen, you may meet a good man or you may meet a good woman, and that good man or woman, you may end up hurting that good man or woman. You may end up actually hurting them because you're not going to be fully invested in it, and actually you are using that man or that woman, and they are good men and women, but you end up using them, but you're not thinking that you're using them on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, you are actually using that man or woman. That's what I wish I could have told my younger self that during those days, okay? But now God bless me more with wisdom, okay? So I'm telling you now, even you brothers and sisters that up in age, if you just fresh out of a bad relationship, don't get into no relationship, brother, with a woman. Sister, don't get into no relationship with a man. The only thing I could suggest to you, my brother and sister, get more closer to Jesus and deal with that pain. Deal with the pain and do you. That's the only thing I can say. Don't get into no relationship with no other person of the opposite sex until you are healed. When I in my younger self, I was not healed. I was going out with other women, but I wasn't healed. I did not lie to them about I was ready for no relationship. I just did whatever happened. But there was this one lady. She got really into me. She really got into me. I didn't lead her on anything. I just hung out with her. I didn't lead on. And I hurt that lady. You know why I hurt that lady? Because I let her go on and on and on, investing into a relationship when I didn't invest in the relationship. So I'm guilty of using someone. I'm guilty. A lot of you brothers and sisters are guilty of using someone. Remember what I said earlier about you reap what you sow. And I said you eventually have to face up to consequences of your action. Or from God's point of view, as it is written in the book of Galatians 6:7. Again, that's Galatians 6:7. Galatians 6:7. It says, do not be deceived. God is not marked for what you reap, whatever you sow. So I was using a woman as a band-aid to get over a hurt situation. That's the bridge over troubled water. So what happened? I walked over that bridge over troubled water, and I thought I was going to take a chance on another woman, right? So I told my mind, I said, I'm going to give another woman a chance. Now, I started liking this one particular lady, okay? And let me tell you what happened. I thought, wow, I just came out of a bad relationship, and now I met this woman that appeared to be the one, and I started opening up my heart again. But what I did not realize was that I had just used someone. You understand? I used someone. How you doing, mother? My mother's, how you doing? And my little sister, when they say your sister and I are watching. So thank you. So anyway, when I got into this other lady, remember what I said, what God word say in Galatians 6:7 said, do not be deceived. God is not marked for whatever you reap, you sow. So I'm not thinking about, I just heard a lady. I'm not thinking about that. The lady wanted to be fully invested in everything. I looked at that lady and I did wrong. She came to where I was at before I got into this other lady, what I thought. And the lady was crying heartfelt tears. And it bothered me a little bit, but it didn't bother me. But it did bother me. I wasn't icy cold. But anyway, she pulled back and I left her alone. Okay. Then I transitioned to this other lady. So when I transitioned to this other lady, God rule applied. Do not be deceived. God is not marked for you reap whatever you sow. And this goes to, have you been used as a band-aid or bridge over troubled water? Listen to what it said. Have you, I started off with saying, have you used someone? Now it's going back to the reaping and sowing part. It say, have you been used as a band-aid or bridge over troubled water? So this young damsel that I thought it was going to be a relationship with, everything appeared to be good. It appeared to be good. It seemed like we had good flowing conversations. And the lady who I was hurting, the lady who had hurt me, and my heart closed up, and then it opened up again, and then I used someone, and now the cycle coming back on me again. So the lady that I was interested in, what I thought everything was good, we had good conversations, we had a good time together and everything. She was fresh out of a relationship. How you doing, cousin Rita? She was fresh out of a relationship. So I'm still not taking my own advice being a younger Tony. And I wish I could have talk to the younger Tony during that time, but I didn't. So this lady and I just thought we were doing a whole bunch of stuff together, right? So instead of dating a whole bunch of other women, I started narrowing it down again to one person. Okay, I started narrowing it down again. So what happened? We were going to worship and everything together. We were doing all that kind of stuff. So one day, remember, she was fresh out of a relationship. So she say, because this is what she told me. I got to be straightly honest with you, brother and sister. She had told me that she was getting a divorce from her husband, okay? She was getting a divorce from her husband. And when she told me she was getting a divorce, she said she had even filed a divorce. She said, I have filed a divorce. Did she say I filed? She said, no, she said, we filed a divorce. She didn't specify whether it was her or her husband. She said, we filed it. We filed it. So it was some months and months and months. So one day we were supposed to be going to worship together. And she would normally come where I at, and then we get in my car and we go to worship, right? But this is what happened. It was wrong, okay? So this one particular day, she didn't come. And I'm wondering, because we all have patterns, and we have patterns, right? We all have patterns. So she didn't show up like she normally. So I called her, right? She didn't answer her phone. I text her. Did we have text on that time? Yeah, I text her. She didn't respond. So I'm thinking something wrong. So our call, she wouldn't answer the phone. Our text, she would not respond. So a few weeks went by, and I'm concerned about the lady, right? So eventually, this is what she told me. She said her and the man, they had gotten back together. I'm hurt again. But you know why I got hurt again? Because I'm not thinking that I had hurt somebody. You see, I was hurt. I hurt someone. Someone hurt me. So you see, my brothers, and you see, my sister, that you reap what you sow. If you hurt someone, my brother, if you hurt someone, my sister, we all have, it all come down to consequences. God's word does not move for none of us. It applied to me. It applied to you, brother. It applied to you, sister. Don't mess with no good man or woman if you don't have pure intentions. I'm talking to you, brothers and sisters, right now. Those of you single brothers and single sisters, if you go out on a date with a man or a woman and you fresh out of a relationship, don't leave them on period. Be straight up and say, look, I'm fresh out of a relationship, a bad relationship. I may conversate with you, but that's as far as it's going to go right now because I'm not ready. Go ahead, my brother. You got to recognize yourself that you're not ready for no relationship. So if you're not ready for no relationship, you be honest with that man and woman. Say, look, I'm not ready for no relationship. That man and woman may come at you real strong, but go ahead. Don't let them keep doing stuff for you. Don't let them buy stuff for you. Don't let them do all that stuff for you. Don't do that, my brother and sister, because all you're doing is using that man or woman for a band-aid because you're going over a bridge over troubled water. I'm going to tell you this. Most of the time when you're fresh out of a relationship and the first person that comes your way, that's normally not going to be the person that you're going to end up with anyway. It's normally not going to be that person. So my brother and sister, listen to me carefully. If you use a man, sister, brother, if you use a woman and you know you fresh out of a bad relationship and you let them continue to invest in you and stuff, what you're doing, you're planting a seed. The seed you planted is disappointment. You're planting a seed of discouragement. You're planting a seed of hurt. Because a lot of time, brother, if you do a woman wrong, then she have this this thought about all men. She could come to the point all men's a dog, because she could have been involved with a man or men before she met you, and she thought you were the best things since light bread, but you were not. So in her mind, she thinking you are a good man, but now in her mind, she gonna put you in the category of everyone else and say all men's are dogs. So she don't want to deal with no men's no more. And then she may go in another direction. Okay. And the same thing, brothers. Listen. I mean, sister, and the same thing, sister. If you know you're not ready for that man, don't let this man be paying your bills. You know you ain't into him. Don't be taking money and gifts and stuff from that man. Don't be doing all that stuff. Don't call him saying I need and I want you, and you know your heart is not there with that man. Don't use him. And you know he's not the one. And my brother and sister, whatever my mother said, what goes around comes around. Reap what you sow. Amen. So my brother and sister, listen to me carefully. If you don't get nothing from the dinner table conversation night, stop using men and women as band-aids. Because when you get a cut, you put something over the cut and then you put the band-aid over the cut. You may touch that band-aid and it feels sore, right? It feels sore. Then eventually you're going to pull that band-aid off, and then normally going to have a scab, right? So sometimes you pick at that scab and then you see it's still not healed, right? But what happened is this. That person that you're dealing with, you're using that person as that cover up over your wound. You got an open wound, so you're using that person to cover up that pain, that hurt, and that loneliness. Some men and some women, you do not want to have that sense of you feeling lonely. Not alone, but lonely. When you start feeling lonely, my brother and sister, you get to the point of being depressed. Now, when you feel alone, that's a different story. You could deal with that, but when you start thinking of feeling lonely, you get into a part of depression. And it happens all the time, my brothers and sisters, using men and women as band-aid. Now, some of you, just be honest with yourself. You ain't got to say nothing at the dinner table tonight. Some of you brothers and sisters, you have used somebody in the past. And let me tell you this, and this is a lot of time what's happening today. There are some men and women that are in a relationship right now. They haven't left. This go for married people, and this go for people that quote unquote say they're in a relationship with someone else. They start having problems, and then they reach out to somebody else. Let me narrow this down to married people. Let me narrow this down to married people. You have a man that's going through some stuff in his home. And like I have told you, brother and sister, most of the time a man is not going to actually leave his home. Some do, but majority of them, they're not. And a lot of women, they do their thing. Some of them go outside, but they're not planning on leaving the house. But they're having problems. So that's why some men and women, when you talk about extramarital affairs, but in the Bible, God called it adultery. A lot of time, my brother and sister, when a man step out and go out the back door, a lot of time when the woman go out the back door and the woman, she got her side dude, and the woman got him the man got him a side chick, the woman got her side dude. And if you notice that, if you have been a part of this little thing, my brother, if you have been a side dude, or sister, if you have been a side chick, if you notice this, let me start with the men first. A lot of you men that's married and you go tell everything to this side chick. You don't suppose, now I'm not endorsing getting no side chick. I'm just talking facts, how it really is out there. You go tell this side chick everything. Don't you know when you go tell this side chick everything and then she get a soul tie with you? This woman get a soul tie with you, and then when you want to break it off, she gonna say, She said, no, it ain't over with until I say it's over with. You talk about some fatal attraction stuff. You see, a lot of people, you think that fatal attraction stuff that was on the move and stuff, you thought you were just getting entertainment out of that. That's some real stuff. Let the fatal attraction stuff happen to you, brother. Because you see, you can't read another person's mind. You especially cannot read another woman's mind, and women are emotional. And this woman, she called herself falling in love with you. She developed a soul tie, especially if she know you got a wife. She know you got a wife, and you stepping out on your wife, and you telling her all the things about your wife. And all this side chick is doing is gathering information, ammunition that she could use against you. And a lot of them will use that stuff, and they want to go straight to your wife. Your wife, she may suspect that you got a side chick, but she don't know it right now. So the side chick introduce herself to your wife. And then some of you, brother, you got a wife that will go meet the side chick. And the side chick would tell your wife some stuff that only you and your wife know. Then when your wife present the evidence to you about the side chick, you want to start lying, right? And she said, well, how can she know it? But let me tell you how some side chicks do it, brother. Listen to what some side chicks do. I'm gonna give you some education, not education, but I'm about to give you some education. Don't you know, brother, though a lot of those texts that you send to your side woman, when you tell her that you miss her and I'm in love with you, and I just like the last time we were together, it was beautiful. You made love to me and I made love to you, and no one never made love to me like this before. And then you go, and some of you, brother, y'all get to the point where y'all get real loose and comfortable with these side women. Then you go out with these side women and you allow these side women to take pictures of you and her together. You understand? You let these side women take pictures of you and her together. So that's when you get real, real comfortable. You go, and your side women, friends, and family, they accept you as a part of their family. How you doing, Sister Foot? Welcome to the dinner table. So you let these side women, they introduce you to their family and their friends, right? Because let me tell you something, brother. When you get a side woman, she's not going to keep a lid on it. Oh, sister, don't worry about it. I'm going to talk to you about how some guys do it. So, sister, listen to what I'm going to talk to some of you females shortly. Listen, some of these guys, brother, some of these women, you telling her everything about your wife. And you know when you really start talking to your side chick, brother, when you in the bed with her. That's when a lot of you guys start opening up and tell your side chick everything, and she got all this ammunition. And let me tell you what side chicks do, some of them. Don't you know, brother, when you leave voicemails, when you leave a voicemail on her phone, you think she's going to delete it? No, she's going to keep it. And not only is she going to keep it, she's going to let other people listen to it. And not only that, brother, all those text messages that you open up to her and everything, she going to let other people read it. You know her family. You know her friend. You feel so comfortable around her family friend. Her family friend know that you married, but they accept you as part of their family. Her mama and daddy may call you son-in-law. Her brothers and sisters may call you bro. The men may fist pump you. Her cousins and all that, they want to hug you. Her girlfriends, you hanging out with her and her girlfriends and her girlfriends and her girlfriend friends of her. You doing all that. So you ingrained into that life. And this woman in love with you. Not only that, brother, you get so deep and you get this woman so soul tied with you Now, when it come around holidays, she expecting you to come. So now you got a tough decision, right, brother? You got a tough decision. You want to be family man, especially you got children. You want to be family man. You got to spend time with your wife, right? You got to make it look good and your children. So what do you think those side women be thinking? Don't you know a lot of them, especially they soul tied to you, they want to spend holidays with you too? Now, some of you guys, married guys, you will spend all your holiday with the side woman. You will start an argument with your wife probably a day before the holiday or something, so you could branch off and be with your side chick and her family, her friend. How you think your wife feel then? But some of you, you try to be very wise and you go ahead and you tell your side chick, you say, hey, I got to go ahead and I got to go here with my wife and my children. But me and my wife ain't doing nothing now. We sleep in different rooms. You know, she got her room. I got my room, but I'm doing it for the children. And you think your side chick really want to hear that? Now, some of you guys, you try to work your side chick in there with your wife, right? What you'll do, you'll tell your wife, I'm about to run by the store. Yeah, you run by the store, all right. So a lot of times you want to, you know what a lot of these sisters, this is what a lot of guys do, married men do. If you decide chick, what they would do, they'll try to get with you early up in the daytime of a holiday, or they're going to get to you basically at the tail part of the night, at night, especially if they got to make time for their wife and or children or just their wife. So they're going to get you at the beginning of the day and spend some time in the day, or they're going to get you late at night. They may tell their wife, I got, if they do it in the early day, they say, I got to run by the store. And they do run by the store. They get in their car and drive right by the store. Then they come to your house. And they spend some time with you and your friend. Then they want you to understand that you got to go back they got to go back home. Or this what they'll do. After they done did everything with their wife and family, and then they get up and then they ride to your house or your apartment, wherever you live at, and then you want to know about how they day was with the family. How you doing, Sister Cheryl? Welcome to the dinner table. Do you think those side chicks really want to know what you and your children? She really don't want to. She want to know what you and your wife did, and then she really don't want to know. Don't you think that she accept that stuff when you be telling her that you and your wife was together? She don't like that. What do you think she have to tell her family member and friend unless she got another dude on the side? Let me tell you this, some of you husbands that got a side chick. Let me put this in your ear. Let me put this 411 in your ear. A lot of the side chicks, they got men that they deal with too. So you men that are married, don't ever put in your mind that this side chick is just going to be there for you. Now, some of them will, especially they real soul tied to you, but don't expect it. And some of you husbands that paying the side chick bills, you paying her mortgage, you are doing all kinds of things for her. You got a key to the house because it's in your name or apartment or whatever. Do not listen to this. Don't think that Rico will not be going in that house or in that apartment when you go back home, because she know your pattern and she know your behavior. So Rico work around, and guess what? Some of you married brother that got a side chick, Rico may know about you. That car note that you paying, when her and Rico go out, Rico driving the car. You know that steak and stuff that you be buying and put in the refrigerator? When you go home, she is barbecuing that steak and stuff and ribs for Rico. My sister said Joe got caught letting the phone ring 3 times. Captain caught him, Michael. Oh, yeah. My little sister, you all remember the Jackson movie. It was Angela Bassett and Lawrence Jacob. You know, Lauren Jacob, he was playing the part of Joe Jackson, and Angela Bassett, she was playing Katherine Jackson. Do you all remember that scene when he said, Katie, will you go to the store and buy me some ice cream? And she said, then he act like he didn't feel that well. So he went into this little side place on their property, and Catherine and LeBassett walked by, and she overheard him talking to this other woman, the side chick. So, brother, and then when you get into it, and don't let me tell you something there, brother. Don't you know when you leave voicemail, when you send those texts, those endearing texts, those voicemails, she ain't no delete them. She's gonna keep them, call that ammunition against you. You get in the bed with her, and that's when you do some pillow talk, because you feel so good after. And Sister Foot said, why even go through that messy stuff? Some of them do, Sister Foot, some of them do. So, brother, you open it up to the lady and you telling her everything. She got all the goodies on you. And if you call yourself, if you tell her, look, my wife and I, we're going to get back together, she ain't don't want to hear that. Then that's when I bust the windows out your car. You know, what that lady name? That Southern lady, Jasmine Southern, whatever. You remember that song called I Bust the Window Out Your Car? Then you think those side women crazy when they start busting your window, when they start putting stuff on your car, when they put all kinds of crazy stuff. They slash your tie, they come to your job, try to get you fired, all kinds of stuff. And last but not least, they want to meet your wife. They might call your wife, or your wife may be courteous enough to meet them. Don't you know, some of you brother, that if you go to sleep sometime over these side chick, how they taking pictures of you, or they recording you, or you driving with them, and when they up, and you think they have their cell phones up, right? They have their cell phones up. The side chick on the passenger side, you driving, and you think she taking pictures of just her, right? She might do this while you driving, you looking straight ahead. Then she do just like this. She do just like this. She got you. Now, on the flip side, some of you sisters, you going through troubled waters with your husband. And now you got this guy that was after you on your job. He been talking, telling you how good you look and everything. So now you get to the point where you start telling him about your husband. You tell him over lunch. Y'all start going to lunch together, right? Mm-hmm. Not only do you go to lunch together, you start going to dinner together. Not only that, you start meeting at the gym. Not only that, you start taking walks in the park. Not only that, you go somewhere and get a drink. And you telling him all about your husband. Let me put a dime in the meter right here. Let me tell you, sister, something. Listen to me carefully. How you doing, Brother Lee? Welcome to the dinner table. Let me tell you something, sister. And you need to understand it. That's right, Sister Tia. Her name was Jasmine Sullivan. And don't forget what Angela Bassett did to her husband and waiting to exhale when he wanted to leave her with nothing. That's right. Glenn Close and Fatal Track, she was the side. That's right. Thank you, Sister Artera. Let me tell you this. Thank you, sister. Let me tell you this, my brothers, with my sisters. The man that you telling him everything about your husband, some of you sisters, you really need to listen to me tonight. Don't hear me. Listen to what I got to say. Most of you, if you're married or you call yourself in a relationship with another man, let me tell you this. The other man really don't care about you having a problem with that man that you with. They don't care about your husband. They don't care about your boyfriend. They don't care. Out of 10 men, side dudes, the side dudes, they don't care. The only thing side dudes basically care for is when you lay down and get on your back. or have you, whatever position you get in. That's what side dudes are into. They don't care about you. They may seem like they want to be your counselor, your confidant, or your comforter. You all remember that group called Shy? I will be your comforter. I will make everything all right. Or is it a Joe? You know the artist Joe? If you all listen to Joe's song, he always want to rescue a woman. He always there to rescue the woman. He will always do you right. Are you dating a Joe, sister? Some of you married women, are you dating Joe? Is he making things all right? Because your husband ain't, so he the man. Why he treating you like this? You such a good woman. He ought to see that you're a good woman. Why he can't see? I could see. If you were mine, I would give you the stars, the moon, the mountains. I give you the world. That was Babyface brother group. You all remember After 7. I give you the sun, the rain, the mountains. I give you the world. That's what the old men be promising you wives, don't they? They be promising you all that. And then you know what you do? And I have said it before. You decide that you're going to go to Victoria's Secret and discover some secrets from Victoria. So you go get that little skimpy stuff to put on for this other man. You may tell your girlfriends about it because you've been sharing stuff with them anyway. And you tell your girlfriend, and you probably got some of them that's on board with you going to the side dude because you talk too much anyway. So not only do this side dude, and let me tell you, a lot of times side dude, they may not tell nobody. Then again, you do have some side dudes that talk, but a lot of times side dude, they don't talk too much. What they may do is tell their boys, I don't want to hear that crap. If they talkative, I don't want to hear that crap. She come over here talk about her husband and all that kind of stuff. But most of the time, side dudes don't talk. It mostly be between you and the side dude. So you go over there to his house or whatever. He put a little alcohol in you, play a little music, and then you're on your back. And then you start getting soul tied. And then when you find out that he got a girlfriend or he dating, then you want to fight him. You don't care. You be out in public. He could be sitting with another woman in public. You married. You see him at a 5-star restaurant. He in there with another woman because you done gave him some money. You start buying the side dude some clothes and everything. You start taking care of the side dude. And now you see him in the restaurant with another woman. And you go over there and you about to get yourself locked up and put on probation. You don't care. You don't even care about your marriage at that time. You want to jump on that side dude. You're going to walk over there to that side dude and ask him who this is, fill in the blank. Because you done got soul tied to the side dude. Because you were using him as a bridge over troubled water or a Band-Aid. Now you got hooked. And the side dude, he was playing your counselor, and he was never there at the beginning. And let me tell you why something today. If you got a side dude, more than likely he got somebody else or somebody's else. Don't ever think, and some women, some wives, you think that if you go to the side dude house and you give him a whole bunch of physical activity, you think you draining the man, don't you? You really think you drain? You don't drain that man. He let you think you're draining him. What about those time the side dude don't answer his phone to respond back? What you think he doing? And he tell you, I was tied up. I was out with the boys. What you think the side dude was doing? So what am I saying? Why am I saying all this? Brothers and sisters, if you're going through a bridge over troubled waters in a relationship, whether you fresh out of a relationship or you currently in a relationship, don't involve other people on the outside. Handle your business at home. You single brothers and sisters, my recommendation is go to Jesus, tell Jesus about the pain, and let Jesus heal you. Don't bring nobody else into your miserable life. And you married people, the same thing. You tell Jesus about what's going on in your relationship and let Jesus know about your pain, and don't let nobody else come into your mess. Sisters, if you're a side chick, more than likely he's not going to leave his wife. He may leave her, but guess what? If he leave his wife for you and you knew that he was married, what you think going to happen when he get with you? Do you think you're an exception to the rule called sowing and reaping? Do you actually think that? I know some women right now, they knew that the man that they got married to, he was married already or in a relationship with another man. He came over to her, and now the man dating another woman or a series of women. And they crying and boo-hooing, and they want to know why he doing me wrong. He doing you wrong because you knew that he had a wife, or you knew that he was in a relationship with another woman, and you thought that you were an exception to the rule. That's what happened. You thought you were an exception to the rule. And some of you brothers, the same thing. You messing with the other women out there and you ain't got yourself together, you going to get bamboozled. Because some of you brothers, if you're dealing with a woman that got a husband or a boyfriend or whatever, guess what? You make plans for her. Let's say this, brother. You got so entrenched with this other woman, especially somebody's wife or a girl or a woman that's with a man. You all plan to go overseas to Dubai. You done bought the tickets. You done got the hotels and everything. You checked out all the dots. I mean, you crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, and you check all the boxes. And you and that woman had an agreement that y'all going to meet at the airport at a certain time. You get to the airport, she's not there. You calling her, she ain't answer the phone. You text her, she ain't responding no text. And they call your seat number, they call the plane about to take off. You get in line, you call, then she called you. And she said, I can't come, something came up. My husband, he want me to go here with him. Or my man, he got guests coming over and I can't do it. That's what happened. When you have used or been a band-aid or a bridge over troubled water. I hope you brothers and sisters got something out of this dinner table conversation tonight. If you have a question or comment, go ahead and put it in the box. Say wait, and I'll wait. If you don't have no question, if you don't have no comment, I hope you enjoyed this good food for the soul. Go ahead and share it with other family members and friends, or you take this takeout plate, put it in the refrigerator, this recording, and play it back over, okay? So you can still get some of that good food for the soul. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Thank you all so much for coming to the dinner table. Peace out.